This is episode 25. And today we're interviewing Nick Bottai, who originally comes from Italy, and he moved to England 5 years ago. He became the marketing director of Foodhub about 3 months ago. So it's interesting to talk about the beginning of a journey as a marketing director or CMO. Now, what's great about this episode with Nick is that he has a different philosophy about how to approach each business and how you can actually jump from different industry to different industries. I found that very fascinating. It's a very good episode. Stay tuned here.
And marketing is crazy because it's a place where everybody tells you how you should do your job.
Welcome to Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup. This is episode 25, and today I'm very lucky to have Nick Bottai. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure, really.
Okay, so you joined Foodhub as a CMO in December, so you've only been there for a couple of months. But can you tell me about your journey prior to joining Foodhub?
Yeah, no, to be precise, I've joined as marketing director. And yes, in December, so almost 3 months. And my journey before that has been a long journey, made through different industries, different markets, different countries. I'm practicing marketing since 1994, if I remember correctly. As a junior marketing executive, really enthusiast, marketing was the first, just in the beginning with the digital marketing, the web was just born, no Facebook, no Google, so it was a crazy time, if you want. But little by little, I've joined different companies, I developed my digital skills, and for that I merged the digital side of marketing that was really a new baby, with the old and traditional marketing. And this connection, this new recipe for the marketing, it what drove my career all the way along, because I was able to bring and to explore new digital marketing opportunities with the traditional ones, from lead generation to nurturing to branding to communication. And then I explored a lot. I like to explore, to change countries, to change industry. And this is what brought me here, because Foodhub is a company that is spanning in a lot of countries. It's a SaaS company, but it's also a tech company. It's a B2B company, B2C company. So all my background really served the purpose of Foodhub.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, normally when I talk to CMOs, they have been there for a while and they're sort of established, but it's good to talk to someone who just joined. So when you start as a new CMO, a new company, you've just been there 3 months. I mean, you've just been through a round of interviews. They spoke to you many times. You presented some plans, and then you get started. I mean, what are the challenges when you start as a marketing director at a new company?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for this. There are a lot of challenges. There are personal challenges, role challenges, company challenges. There are a lot of them. So the first challenge is people, because you are the new person. Usually they're the person that want to change things. So the first challenge is how the other people see you, what they're expecting from you, because they are scared. There's no other way to say that. Some of them they're enthusiastic, curious, but also scared because, oh my God, now this guy is going to change everything. And unfortunately, sometimes, yeah, this is the case. And the other challenge is to go well along with them, and then to understand what the business needs. Because if you have to build a team, the first thing to know immediately is to find out what the business needs, and therefore build a team that solves those needs. And then start working and producing results, because ultimately is why they hired you, because they expect results. So balance all of this and start producing results is the challenge.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's just talk about what Foodhub really is, because I'm in Australia. I don't know what Foodhub is, but I looked it up and I saw that it's similar to Uber Eats, I presume, and Just Eats and many of the other food delivery systems that are out there. What makes a Foodhub different than the other ones?
It's different. When I joined and I looked for, you need to prep for your interviews. And yes, it's sort of Just Eat and Deliveroo, but it's also really different. And when I joined the company, and after 2 months, I understood what Foodhub really is. And it took me 2 months because despite any other company, it's really a big company, but with a big vision. It's not just delivery because as a matter of fact, we don't deliver food. We have not deliveries. What we do, if I explain it in the best way, is we produce an ecosystem of tools, hardware, and software that help clients and restaurants to connect with their customers. So the app, the ordering app, is just one tool that makes this possible. But then we produce, ordering system, software, hardware that we give to the restaurant, aggregator. So if a restaurant has multiple channels or ordering channels, they can just order with different channels, but they don't need to have 3 or 4 POS or systems. We just have one that connects all of them. So, and another really important point, and that we differentiate from our competitor, what should be competitors, that is we connect our client with their customer, and there is the keyword because Just Eat owns the customer base, not the restaurant. So if you're a restaurant, you should Just Eat mainly. You lose the customer because they are Just Eat customers or Deliveroo customers. But with us, you are the restaurant owner. You own your customers. We don't own them. We help you build your customer database. We help you to connect with them. We provide you with everything. We build your website. We can build your app. We can do a lot of things, but it's your customers.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that, because when I just went to your website, that's the feeling I got from it. But absolutely, that's different. So that the customer owns the restaurants own the customers. But do the customers arrange? Your customers, which the restaurants, do they then facilitate delivery by themselves, or do they use delivery drivers, or do customers come and pick up, or where do you differentiate there?
No, correct. At the moment, our clients, restaurants and takeaways, should provide the delivery because we don't provide delivery so far. We are looking for solution partnerships, but at the moment we are not there.
And regarding Australia, maybe I'm not the target demographic that's working or not working here. I don't know much about many food delivering apps. I don't use them too often. Very rarely, actually. I think I used Uber Eats like 3 times. So maybe I'm not the right demographic for your Foodhub here in Australia. But good to know. All right. So the business model, as you said earlier, it's a SaaS, it's a subscription as a service. So your clients, which is the restaurants, pay you a monthly fee for this system that they're using, which is helping build their database of customer they can connect with directly.
Yeah, correct. And again, we don't charge on a commission base. So doesn't matter if you have 10 order, 1,000 order, 10,000 order, you pay the same fee. With the Just Eat that you mentioned before, the more they order, the more you pay. Could be a sort of win-win situation, but when you have to pay 30% of commission, and probably the commission of a restaurant, it's a huge margin. So probably there's lost pay. So there's a lot of different things. But so this is our model. It's just a subscription base. You can upgrade. You choose the package that fits your needs more. You can have your website. You can have your app. You can ask us to develop some PPC campaign for you. And this, of course, comes to a cost, but it's a fixed cost. Then the more they order, the more you are successful, the more improved profit you have.
That's good to hear. There's alternatives. That's awesome, because some delivery apps charge quite a lot and are hurting some restaurant owners. So this is good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, they chose this model, so it was there when I joined, and I found that is really innovative, if you want, because it's not that the same industry that work that you care about revenue, so you try every single lever to try to increase your revenue. In here, we of course we care about our revenue, but we care about our clients' revenue, because if we start charging for commission, we improve our revenue a lot. We know that, but at the same time, we don't help to improve the profitability of our clients. So this is what we really want. So we give up some revenue to improve our clients' revenue. I found that it's a long plan. It takes longer. but it's I like it.
When you just started as a marketing director 3 months ago, what is your first focus on? Can you talk about that? What your focus on challenges right now, or is that too secret, too hush hush?
No, the focus is to grow the company, and so I joined and they hired me because they wanted to say, okay, we arrived to here. Now we want to grow even more. So where do we start from? And so the challenge was, okay, where do we start from? For example, so we start from branding. As you said, we never heard about you. Yeah, I know a lot of people say that. So okay, now focus on branding, and now focus on build a model starting from the UK that works, and then we can adapt and use in other countries from branding, marketing, and lead generation, and all these kind of things.
So your main goal then as a marketing director go out and get new clients to come into the business, or is it more also getting consumers? Because you said you're B2B, but you also B2C. What's the B2C aspect of it?
The B2C, for example, is making people order with our app, because more app download, more customers, so user, the more they order with our app, the more they go to our clients that are restaurants and takeaways. So the good balance is to have enough restaurants and enough users. This is another tricky part, because we can't have restaurants but not user and not helping them to create and to order, but we can't have too many customers or users if we have no restaurants, because it's not appealing. So the right one is to balance the both of them. So running B2B campaign and B2C campaign. In the meantime, understand our clients and support them, create B2B2C campaign, and see how we can improve what we offer, improve our services, our products, our communication, all of that. So it's a really wide role, and it sounds complicated, but yeah, it's challenging.
Can I ask, in terms of the restaurants, which platforms are you focusing on there to try to get them in, as opposed to the customers, the B2C? What kind of different platforms are you using for marketing channels?
Well, digitally speaking, the traditional. So Google Ad, just to advertise them. Google Pin, so Google My Business, because it's a good platform. You have reviews, you can upload your pictures, and a lot of people, when you look for restaurants near me, they show you the restaurant. So this is a good one. And then according to the topology of the restaurant and the area where they are located, could be different social media, could be Facebook or could be Instagram. So this is the three major channels.
And that's what's driving the growth of your companies, those channels. Are you guys focusing on SEO, affiliates, anything like that?
Yeah, we do also that. We do also SMS campaign. We do email campaigns, but and other things that can raise awareness and connect or communicate directly with the restaurant's customers. However, this is not tricky, but because we don't own the customers, we need every time, for example, if we want to run an SMS campaign or an email campaign, we need to ask the permission to the client, to the restaurant, to connect with their customer base, because for the GDPR and different privacy laws, we can't, because it didn't. So this is a part where we need to be really careful about, and sometimes it takes more time and it's more difficult than usually run a simple PPC or affiliate campaign for our restaurants. But there is, again, an ecosystem of touch points of different channels to help our clients to grow, and we want to be sure that we perform all of them in the best way possible, because ultimately everything we want is it's a win-win model. More orders they have, the more they stay with us, the more the people order through our app, the more the customers, the clients, and restaurants are happy, and all of that. It's really a wheel of happiness.
Now, can I ask you, since you just started, I think I'm fascinated by it when CMO starts a new job. As CMOs or marketing directors, I mean, we're being measured on results and numbers constantly, like monthly, quarterly, yearly, semi-annually. I mean, when you take in a new job, there's a lot of excitement, but there's also a lot of worries. What are we going to do to increase those numbers? Is there any advice you can give other marketing directors or CMOs out there how to start a new job, how to swallow that, how to navigate that?
Oh, this is a really good question. Now, first, be clear. You said it right. And every time you join a new role, they expect the results. Sometimes you are lucky and they understand marketing, so they know that it takes time. Sometimes they want results in a month. And I know that this sounds really crazy, but based on my experience, I would say always spend a lot of time before joining the company to be sure that you and the CEO or your line manager are aligned and on the same page regarding results and expectations. So when they say, okay, I want to grow, yeah, fine. What do you mean for grow? How do you track growth? Because then these are the numbers and there must not be gray areas because you don't want that in 3 months' time. Why didn't you raise this number? Because I thought I not. This is crazy time then. So be really clear, understand, ask questions, be on the same page because sometimes, well, more than sometimes, a word for me has different meaning for another person and vice versa. So growth has a lot of meanings. Be sure you track down and you write down what does it mean for your line manager or for the board, align with them, share your thoughts, because maybe you think, oh, maybe this is not the right metric. Maybe it's another one because you have the experience in your field. And marketing is crazy because it's it, it's a place where everybody tells you how you should do your job. It never happens that you go to a developer or to a filmmaker saying, well, you should have done or wrote this string of code. It never happens. However, it happens every time that people say, why you don't do that? Why you don't run this campaign? It happens every time. So know what is your job.
Don't go to a doctor and say, why did you do that and did we do that? No, but it's true with marketing. Everybody has an opinion. I do want to say, I think it's also a little bit in the film world, coming from the film world, and certainly also in the football world. Why didn't you play that? Why didn't you? We talked prior about football. Yes. But so I agree with you there totally that marketing, everybody has an opinion about it. So I like what you're saying that you got to manage expectations. You've got to write down what both parties understand, what is the expectations, and really, really clarify that. And then once you define that, that's the first step. And then you just start and it's off to the races to try and get those numbers, or do you do something else before you start the job? Or
when I know what is my goal or what are my goals, I start to look around and understand what happened in the past because I want to find out if there's something they did that worked well and they can replicate, or if there's something I stopped doing, or doing less, or doing more. So there is a lot of study that, of course, you can study before entering a company, but when you are in the company, they have the opportunity to speak with the people that made this. So for sure, for example, Foodhub has been brought to this level, that is a huge level, despite having few marketing team, really small marketing team, not really marketing focused, but they did great. But you can achieve, you are to a point where you need to do something different. So what I want to find out is, okay, we did well. What worked so well, and now what we need to add, what we need to change to make it to consolidate the market share, and then grow. And you need to start doing your plan. And again, what you want to have as a marketeer, as a senior marketeer, is having the freedom to work properly, to bring your ideas in place, to start doing proper things. And because if you know that something works, you want to do that. You don't want, oh, okay, yeah, I want this number, but no, you can't do that. No, you don't. You can't. You need to do and have the freedom to do what you think is right. Then, of course, it's on you because you're responsible for results.
yes, the box starts with you. The numbers, you have to defend the numbers, whether they're good or bad. You have to deliver on those numbers. What was the things you wish you were taught before you started as a marketing director? What was something you wish that someone had told you that you had to figure out by yourself?
Oh, this is a really good question, and it's a difficult question. I don't know, probably, but it depends from what end. To not take too many things personally, because any challenge, sometimes when you don't get the results you want, or when people tell you that everything that you did is not right or whatever, you can take it personally, and it happens, I think, with not just with my job, but with every kind of job, even with my team. So what I say is nothing personal. It's not related on you. It's related on your performance. That are two completely separate things. Now, when I join a company and when I speak with my team for the first time, I always point this out. But for me, it was, now that I realized, it was a really hard lesson that it took me a lot of time to learn. Because it's easy to say something, okay, don't take it personally, but then when it's on you, you struggle a little bit sometimes. So this is for probably the first thing that I had to learn since the beginning of my career. And if I'm being told at the beginning,
don't take things personal. Anything else you thought that you wish somebody had told you before you started in this crazy business we're in?
well, not really, because I started and I'm curious. I'm really curious and I like to explore a lot of things. And this made the difference, but I've been told that that was a good point later in my career from one of my managers. But luckily I had this trait. So if somebody else doesn't have this trait, oh, this is a must have traits. Be curious, read a lot, know about a lot of different aspects of marketing. I have, for example, I have a graphic design certificate, not because I want to I want to design, but because I wanted to learn and to understand the graphic designers from their point of view. I wanted to be able to understand what are the tools or their language, because when I speak with them, I want to be effective. I can't be effective if we spoke a different language. If we speak, a different language. The same with a lot of our, areas of marketing. So to train my team and to lead them properly, I did, and I took a coach certificate because communication was really important to motivate them, and I was not able to motivate them properly at this level early in my career. So curiosity, learn, this is really in my opinion, the key things of any marketeer.
So starting again, 3 months, what keeps you up at night when you start this new company? What is it that worries you right now? What is you focusing on to try to sort out or to figure out?
During my career, what I did every time, I always ask myself a question. Okay, I deliver results in this industry and in this market. What if it's a new market? What if I change industry and market? I'm still so good. I can still able to deliver results. So what I did is I changed industry and market almost every time. I never ever joined a company that was in the same market in the same industry. In the beginning, that was and in the beginning that was really scary. And in the beginning, it was I didn't sleep too much because I was worried about, oh my God, what I have to do now. But little by little, it gives you the confidence and it gives you the agility to think in different ways and to bring always something different. So when I joined Foodhub, that is the way it's a completely new. Well, it's not a completely new industry to be fair, because I worked in the food industry, but not in this market. I'm enthusiast. I'm like a baby during Christmas time. You want to discover things. You want to open that box because you want to find out what there is inside and then how to play with it, how to take the best out of it. So this is how I find my time, my first 3 months in Foodhub, but later in every company. I'm not scared. I know that I have results to deliver, but I know that I can deliver them, of course, or maybe I can't. I don't know, but I will always try to do my best. I will do my best every time. And then usually results comes out. If not, okay, it was not my industry, but now I learned that it's not me, it's my results.
Got it. So you're saying by getting out of your comfort zone, when you go into a different industry, a different area where there's maybe not the same colleagues, different talks, different way they speak, different way of thinking, it's scary, but you can bring something to them and you learn from something you bring to the next one. I think that's I like that philosophy. I like that. That's not normal. Most people stay in the same area when they jump from company to company.
Oh, thank you. But if you do like that, you hardly develop your skills and your attitude and your behavior. So even when I look, for example, to hire someone, and never look for someone in the same industry. That for me is not a key or an important factor, because I understand that maybe in the past they did great things in the same industry, but what I want to find out is what they can deliver from now on, not in the past. What is in the past? It means, yeah, 5 years ago you were good, but now the market changed a lot and changed really fast.
What's the 1 year vision you have for Foodhub, and then the 3 year vision, the 5 year vision? What vision did you sell to your employers and the investors ultimately?
Well, the vision is the vision I want to bring, so it's an easy answer because I know what I want to achieve. I want to achieve, and I think that Foodhub is capable to achieve a great mission that is do business in a different way. Don't think about business by itself, but help and partner with its client base to build a business together. It's a win-win situation. So we support them, they are happy, we are happy. If we bring results to them, ultimately, they bring results to us. So it's a model when we risk ourselves, we grow slower than other platforms because the business model, yeah, we are growing and we are growing fast, but we can be 10 times faster if we change our business model. However, if we change our business model, we are not Foodhub anymore. So in 3 years, my vision is we are in many countries. Everybody is speaking about how we helped communities, local restaurants and takeaways to grow and to stay on the market. We want to be the best partner for them. We don't want to be, an umbrella. Their clients, their restaurant, we help them.
So giving value to your customers, that gives value to you. So give before you can receive. All right. So now I'm going to ask you a question. What is most important, the numbers or the story?
They are equally important. Numbers allows you to build a good story. But if you build good stories, the natural outcome is that you have good numbers.
So what do you focus on in your role? What is it the numbers or is it the story? What do you get pulled towards, or are you 50-50?
Okay, let's pick your investor wants numbers. So the job is I need to make them, or to make it clear that to have those numbers I need to do something that doesn't deliver numbers immediately, but at the end they have the numbers they want. So I focus on both of them, of course. I always look at numbers, but I look at how the stories, the team, everything we do helps this number to happen. So both of them. But my primary focus, however, is not numbers, because if you look only to numbers, you lose the big picture.
Yes. Well, we get blinded by the numbers because if we're so focused on numbers, we forget the vision or the story. It's a fine balance that every person in marketing is struggling with on a daily basis. You might want to spend more time in one area, but that precludes the other area. So it's that balancing act you have to do on a daily and weekly and monthly basis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a journey. If you take a car and you know where you want to go, you can't think only about where you want to go, or the miles you need to do every day. You can't look only at numbers. You know where you have to go. You know the miles you have to do, but you can also look around, enjoy your journey, speak with your partner or whatever, enjoy the landscape. Then at the end of the day, you hit your numbers. But if you focus just on numbers, yeah, probably you arrived there a little bit earlier, but you lost a lot of things. We don't want to lose a lot of things, because a lot of things is our vision, our values, our clients, their satisfaction. It's all of that. And we absolutely not want to lose.
Nick, you're originally from Italy and you moved to England about 5 years ago. How was it different? Of course, there's the culture, there's the language, there's certainly the food, British food versus Italian food, and many other things that we can talk about in detail. But from a marketing point of view, how was that journey? How it was the way you do things in Italy? Was that different from the way they do things in England?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Now, this is a good question. Yes, it's different, and of course, the cultural difference also reflects to the workspace, and to the innovation. Italy is really good for food, good for a lot of things, but if I must say, it's not really good for innovation. So, as a marketeer, I also had to make a choice where I want to be in this number of years. And if I want to develop, I need to go and to work in places where marketing is pushed a lot, where people really focus on marketing, where there is a marketing culture. And unfortunately, Italy was not, I don't think, is at the level yet. So we have great companies, and they're doing great, even from a marketing point of view. If you speak, if you know, Ferrari, Lamborghini, or in the fashion industry, we have lots of them, but there are few. So good marketeers are already there, and this company are really jealous about the marketeers. So there is also no space for new marketeers, or for, well, new slash old marketeers like me. So the best way is to change, and the UK was a really good market to go.
I just remember one time going to a conference somewhere. I was in Milan, and I remember I had to go and buy a cup of coffee. First, you have to go and pay a lady and some money, and then you got a ticket, and then you go to some other guy, give him that number, and then so you have to stay in line first, and then you get another line to give him the ticket, then you get a third line to get your coffee, and it was like, this is not helping the customer, but I'm sure it was good for the business. It's just like, and I'm saying this with a smile, and because I love Italy, but it was just like, come on, this is not customer centric.
You're correct. This is a really good example, and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So from a culture point of view, and I'm talking about work culture, what have you learned from the British that is great that you should bring to Italy, but also what have you learned from the Italian work culture you're trying to bring to the British work culture?
Around the world, we say that Italian people are really passionate. If now, generally speaking, if you speak about British culture, probably we say they're more not so passionate as the Italian people. So what I bring is, especially in my team, is to be passionate about them, about how I relate with them. We are just not numbers, but we are people. And if you think about that, I spend almost 9-10 hours a day with my team every day. It makes 50 hours a week only with them. It's a lot of time. So bring some Italianity. It's good because I can bring some food, I can joke, I can bring my craziness or enthusiasm, and they're happy about that. It makes your workplace better place where you wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm happy to go to work, because you know that at the end of the day you laughed, you enjoyed your time. Yeah, you worked hard, but also there is a mixture of different things that makes you happy. So this is what I bring. And of course, food. They always ask me for food. If I may leave with something, is don't forget that ultimately we always are people. And we spoke about numbers, we spoke about expectation, we spoke about a lot of things, but it's not me achieving that or any CMO or marketing director, it's the team. And it's not only the marketing team, it's all the company. And the company is made from people only. They're not automated companies so far. So the most important thing, you can be a marketeer, you can be a junior marketeer or a senior marketeer. You can be a salesperson or a developer. We are people. So what I said in the beginning, we are not our results, but we just deliver results. It's the same. We are not our job title. We are people. So enjoy what you are doing, but as soon as you remember that we are people, we are persons, I think we can create better work environment. And this is what drives me to change or to join a company. I want this kind of culture. So if I may leave with an advice, look for what you are and what your values are, because then you need to spend in this environment a lot of time.
Nick, thank you so much for joining me in the podcast. That's a beautiful way to end this episode. I really thank you for being here. It's been absolutely a pleasure, and thank you.
It's my pleasure, honestly, really, really my pleasure. Really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much.
At the end of each episode, we are lucky to have Zane, who is our producer, who's sitting in the background making us sound good, maybe sometimes look good, but he's there to edit and make sure things are working the proper way. And I always love to bring Zane in just to give his perspective on what he thought about today's episode.
Yeah, because I don't really know anything about marketing. I don't do marketing. So it's as a layperson, I get a lot out of these episodes. I think it was really interesting, his point about marketing being one of those jobs where everyone thinks they can tell you how you should have done it. Because whether it worked well or whether it didn't work well, everyone thinks they were like, oh, you should have just done it this way. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe we should have. Have you got a time machine to go back and do it?
Everybody has an opinion about marketing. I really like that. That's true.
And I think that plays into his philosophy on numbers versus story as well. Is like the numbers are what kind of guide you, but the story is how you get there. So yeah, that's like keep the numbers in mind, but the story is what is the important part and the joy along the way. Another thing that I really liked was what he said about curiosity and how he jumps from industry to industry. I was
about to say that. Yeah.
Learning things along the way.
I think that's just fascinating that because we're human beings and we're creatures of comfort, and we all have a comfort zone. Some have bigger comfort zones, some have smaller comfort zones, but most people tend to stay within one industry, because it's easier to rise in the ranks, be recognized, have colleagues, and so forth. And you just go for a new industry every single time.
Oh, new industries, new countries. Yeah.
I think that's bold. I think that's impressive. And I think that's very bold of him.
Yeah, it's I think, we have in our heads that our careers are a ladder, and then you just kind of take the next step up and the next step up.
Yeah.
Whereas really it isn't a ladder. Like it is maybe a pyramid. You can go upwards, but you can also go diagonally, you can go across to the side, and everyone is climbing with you. So
and you bring fresh thinking to the place you go to, because you come from other industries, and when you go to the next one, you can bring some more stuff from that, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
I never thought of it. I really like that. That was really good,
especially in a marketing position, because you are learning how a lot of different people speak and how a lot of different people communicate. So I think that's a really interesting point of view.
For me, it was he just started. He just 3 months old, and it was just good to find someone, talk to someone at that early stage. What is it that they're focusing right now? Because most of the people we've spoken to on all the episodes, someone who's been there for a while. So it's just good to go in and have him. What a great guy!
Absolutely wonderful episode.
Thank you.